Hey everyone, what if I told you you could cut your new customer cost of acquisition by 50%? Yeah, up to 50%. We had an interesting hiccup happen at my e-com company, Barbell Apparel, recently that I think elucidates this idea quite clearly, but I'll dive into some other companies and we'll circle back to that. If you watch any of my content, you know that I tend to harp on the efficacy of your front-end offer quite a lot, right? So that's the pop-up that flies in your customer's face, gets them to sign up for email and SMS. It also has the added benefit of focusing that customer potentially on a specific subset of products, ideally ones that sell well and have good margin, right? And so my biggest annoyance when I'm looking at e-com companies, even ones that are much bigger than mine, right? We'll go to ChatGPT, and I told it to give me a random direct-to-consumer e-commerce company, just so you guys know I'm not cherry-picking here. We'll open it in an incognito window and see what we get. And I know what we're going to get because I always get the same thing. Let's get 15% off. Now this is going to be about what 90% or more of businesses are running, right? Most of the businesses that come and ask us for help, or any of the businesses I audit, or any of the businesses I interact with as a customer, are running some variation of the percentage off discount or something worse from a sign-up rate and performance perspective, right? That could be free shipping as an offer, or nothing at all, which is by far the worst, right? Like all of these options are better than nothing. But the truth is these percentage off discount pop-ups don't work all that well. I've been in e-commerce long enough now, over 15 years, to remember where these came from. In the early days of e-commerce, Bonobos was one of the first companies to really champion this strategy, and back then it worked pretty well because it was novel and they had lots of venture capital to burn acquiring customers. But for those of us that want to succeed in the 2020 era and beyond, I would argue that this model is largely dead. One, people have seen it about 1 billion times, and so the sign-up rates are not that great. Two, if you're bootstrapping or need to run a profitable business, most e-com businesses are going to be lucky to throw off 20% EBITDA at the end of the year. And so giving away 15% or 75% of that EBITDA to every new customer purchase is a pretty tough thing to do and still make money. Now, if this really helped reduce our customer acquisition costs or really got people to sign up at a rate that was much higher than other iterations of a front-end offer, then I would say go for it. But I've tested this across dozens of clients and my own websites, and I will tell you that it does not. It doesn't have better sign-up rates. It often has worse, and it often has worse impact on the business's P&L because, again, you're giving away just a bunch of pure margin right off the top, and it's getting your customers thinking in the type of shopping that, like, right off the bat, my first impression is like, let's go look for a deal and discounts, right? And again, I'm not against deals and discounts, but we have to put them in places where it's beneficial to the customer journey and beneficial to our business, right? So I'm going to get out of that for now, and we'll go show you what we're doing at Barbell Apparel currently. So, at Barbell Apparel, our current iteration of the front-end offer is get a free t-shirt on orders over $99. Now, this accomplishes a few things, right? One, I'm able to set a minimum average order threshold. Ideally, we're setting this average order threshold above whatever my current average AOV is. And I'm getting to give away a huge retail value to the customer. So from a perception standpoint, they can get up to $68 effectively off their purchase of $99. Now they still have to spend the $99 and they get the $68 free, but people think in terms of absolute value, right? Like, what's 15% off $99? Well, I'm going to save $15. Would you rather spend the extra $15 and get $68 free? Most people would. It also focuses their user journey on a specific subset of products to start with, right? Let's go get excited and pick this new free shirt. And again, because the offer is compelling and high value, you'll get a lot of people that fill this out that aren't even sure if they want to buy yet, which doesn't happen with that kind of like small incremental discount. If someone's just learning about your brand, they're not sure if they even want anything, the odds that they sign up for some kind of like token low discount amount is very low. That said, most people have a hard time not signing up for something as compelling as a big free gift, right? And so let me tell you a little story about what happened recently. So we fire off dynamic discount codes to all of the customers that sign up through that pop-up, right? And I didn't realize this, but the integration broke, or rather the team member that manages it didn't realize the integration broke. And I was reviewing our numbers and I was seeing our cost of customer acquisition creep up week over week in an environment where it should have been stable. Like, nothing else was really changing on the website. It's the summer, so there's not a bunch of seasonal stuff going on. And I was like, why is this CPA doing this? And so, of course, I dive into the rest of the numbers and I look at our own marketing system and I see that the numbers there look a little bit wonky, right? And so I dive into our automations inside Klaviyo, our email software, and I find that, hey, the coupon code integration is broken, and so it's just not firing at all. It's not firing at all to the customers that have signed up for that offer, and so people were still signing up for it, but they weren't getting what they were signing up for. They weren't getting the coupon code to get the free t-shirt. And so what happened over that time period of just a few weeks is that our CPA crept up 50%. Yeah, 50. And so for people not running strong front-end offers, you're essentially potentially paying, half again as much for a customer as you need to. For example, if you had a, average CPA of $50, not running a good front-end offer could push that all the way up to $75 or more. I mean, I've seen front-end offers have varying degrees of effectiveness on converting new customers, but the point is that this is something that's really controllable, really cheap to test and iterate, and you can land on a front-end offer that works phenomenally for you from both a average order perspective, a sign-up rate perspective, the value you're giving the customer, the results on your P&L. It's one of the most manipulable facets of your business, and almost no attention gets put into it because, again, just go pull up 10 random websites and see what kind of pop-ups they're running. It's going to largely be no pop-up at all, a discount, or free shipping, and none of that stuff is that great, right? Because again, I like to reserve some of that stuff like free shipping as another lever to manipulate my average order value, right? And so you can have a free gift. You could do it like this, right? So at Barbell Apparel, our free gift starts above $100. We could offer free shipping above $150. We could offer more stuff at higher average order value thresholds. And you now have all these levers to pull to where you can incrementally encourage your customers to spend more and give them more value in return for accomplishing that behavior, right? And so what I would say is that if you haven't done this, sit down with your team, go through your website, try to identify a front-end offer that's going to be really compelling and implement it and start testing it against your baseline, right? You already have piles of data with your existing front-end offer, so you know how it's going to perform. But if you want to be super judicious about it, you can just do a simple A/B split test, take half the people, send them the old offer, take half the people, send them the new offer, measure the difference discretely inside the channel, and then you could look for a nominal reduction in your customer acquisition costs over the same time period. Now again, because half of the people are going to be getting the old offer, you won't get the full effect of the reduction on the cost of customer acquisition, but you'll at least see some of it. And then if you can identify a winning test, you can push it to everybody and reduce that CPA even further. I have a team at Suede that will manage this end-to-end for you. We'll think of the good offers, we'll test them, we'll test multiple branches, and we will continue to iterate until we get your sign-up rates to where we want them, we reduce your CPAs to where you want them, and we push your average order value up to where it needs to be to help your business be sustainable and profitable. There's a lot of other levers you can pull on the front-end ecosystem to manage that average order value, but the front-end offer is the most important part because it's the lead-in. That's where your new customers are first interacting with you, and so that's where we want to focus a lot of attention primarily. And the advantage of working with an outside team is that they can bring some perspective that's often much needed and lacking within an organization itself, because like I've told countless people my philosophy surrounding this, and they hear what I'm saying, but then they go back to business owner thinking, and what they do is they go look at their inventory and they're like, okay, what do I have a ton of stock of that doesn't sell very well that I can give away? And your customers aren't dumb, right? If that's the way you think, that is also the way they're going to perceive. So you can't just give away some meaningless tchotchke and think like, oh, this is going to transform my business. You have to give away something people really want. And so when I say give away free gifts, don't think something cheap and meaningless. Think something that people actually really want. Like I would err on the side of choosing an item from my list of top 10 bestsellers as opposed to something that's like number 80 and sitting in the back of the warehouse. And I know that can seem intimidating to people, or maybe it's like, well, how am I going to make money if I give away my bestseller? Well, that's why you have that average order value threshold set there. You give people the option to get something that they really want for free, and then make them spend enough money to where that makes sense for your business. And I'll tell you, the people that really implement this well, I've seen it transform businesses from miserable business to run that are basically scraping by to yield a profit every month or losing money, being just like horrendously stressful for the business owner, to a business that's now profitable every month and scalable because it's reducing the CPA, it's lifting up the average order value, and it's creating a flywheel that actually allows the business to run with some room. So anyways, if you're interested in having us look at the way you have this set up, just follow the link below this video or wherever we post it to go get an audit, and we're happy to take a look at your business yourself or ourselves and give you a recommendation on what we think might be a good way to approach this. If you wanted to explore working with us, we actually can manage this stuff end to end, right? So offer identification, offer testing, setting up the pop-up, setting up the Klaviyo, managing all the automations. We can even manage the copywriting, the graphic design, all of your campaigns on an ongoing basis. We love to do this for businesses. But if you want to do it yourself, that's also awesome. All I say is that if it works, just shoot me a DM, a message, a comment, something, letting me know what the results were. I hope this was helpful. And yeah, let's go overhaul those front-end offers and make a big change in the business. I put together this sheet, The Pillars of Profitable E-commerce, as an attempt to distill 15 years of my life and tens of millions of dollars spent scaling e-commerce businesses. The goal was to create a resource that helps you turn your e-commerce business into something that's profitable to run, low stress to run, and predictably scalable, right? We go over your market positioning, your marketing strategy, how to plan a marketing calendar up to a year in advance or even further if you wanted to do that, how to develop a dedicated first-time customer strategy, how to develop a dedicated repeat customer strategy so that those customers that you're spending all that time, energy, and money on converting the first time come back and convert again sooner, because that's where most of the profit's going to be made. And going over the expense optimization of your business so that you know how to go over your P&L at the end of every month and look for areas where you can cut money, save money, improve the money coming in. I recorded a 15-minute video so that you can get basically the equivalent of a master's degree in running an e-com business in 50 minutes. It took me a long time and a lot of money to learn this stuff, so I hope it's useful. It's completely free, and if you watch that and like it, you can apply for an audit, and I'll take a direct look at your e-com business and let you know where I think there may be areas of opportunity to improve the way that's functioning. That's also completely free. And if you want to explore working with us, I do have a team that can help you run and optimize these things end to end. We can set up your front end offer, we can run your own marketing, we can write your copy, we can do graphic design. Of course, no pressure. I mainly do this just to connect and help other business owners, but so many people ask that I eventually hired people so that we can help do it for you if you don't have the time and bandwidth. So if that's interesting, I would encourage you to watch the free video. Again, it represents a lot of time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears for me. So if you find it useful, let us know in the comments, DM me, email me, whatever it is, and share it with somebody else.